guys, it's Michelle with Women Who Wow, the premier online coaching and mentoring platform for the seriously driven woman entrepreneur. If you are a seriously driven woman entrepreneur, you need to message me right now about joining us, Women Who Wow, m.me/Women Who Wow. Today, we're talking about thriving in 2020, right? In this little parens of 2020, this little pause that we've all taken, and how we thrive as entrepreneurs. And I want to cover a little bit of mindset stuff because I know that that's critical, but also 6 really practical things that every business owner needs to focus on, not just right now, but in any downturn of an industry or an economy, or even a downturn fostered by your own personal circumstance. So I'm trying to get my camera right. But I'm really excited to be talking with you guys about this. And I do want to just get it off my chest a little bit that I'm a little bit frustrated to still talk about the coronavirus, right? Like I kind of am sick of talking about it. I'm sick of it being in the headlines. And yet I do know that it is a formidable presence on the battlefield of business right now. And so I want to make sure that I'm addressing it and that I am giving business owners and women entrepreneurs what they need to really just, rock this out and emerge stronger and more profitable and better positioned than they were before, all of this took place. So I'm going to share this really fast. And let's see here. There we go. All right. So let's just start with a little bit of mindset stuff, right? So first things first, I just want to point out the obvious that as small business owners, because we're small, we're agile, and that gives us a huge advantage, right? So like we can bob and weave. We do not need a 5-year plan in order to know what we're doing tomorrow. We can have a end of year goal and plan each day as we go. So our agility is actually a huge benefit to us as entrepreneurs. I do want to talk a little bit more about the parenthesis analogy, right? So like the parens analogy. And I think this is so critically important for us to get, right? So clearly in 2020, we are in a little bit of a parens, right? It's like we started January, February, and then there's a parenthesis, and this March, April, May, and then the end of the parenthesis, hopefully, right? And so we have this parens going on in our year. And just to point this out to you guys, like what this means really is in English class, we learned that a parens, where the information, what happens inside of a parens is meant to clarify something. In math, a parens is meant to multiply something. And so I firmly believe that what's happening right now in the 2020 economic market is for small businesses is going to both clarify and multiply what happens, what we do within this uncertain and sort of chaotic period of time. And so I just wanted to let you know that. I wanted to put that analogy up front because what you do within the walls of your business, it matters so much, right? So like when you consider what will you invest, will you stay the course? Will you keep serving? Will you keep selling? Will you push pause? If you do less within this parens, keep in mind how parentheses work, right? So like if you do less, then that's a negative, and anything multiplied by a negative is more negative. If you do nothing within this parens of 2020, then 0 is multiplied by any other number and it results in 0. You're going to have a lot harder time on the other end when life starts happening again, reaching your goals for 2020. And I can assure you that a lot of ground can and will be covered during this time by someone doing what you do in your industry. And I just want to challenge you to rise above the circumstances, to dig deep into what you have to offer the market, and really make a stand in your industry, and let the just kind of accept the responsibility of the economy. We are the backbone of the world economy, our small businesses. And so I just want to encourage you today with that. And I want you to be prepared, right? So the second worst thing that you can do in this time is nothing. The second worst thing you can do is just to wait it out, to watch and see what happens and then make your plan. Oh Lord, that is the scariest thing ever. But the worst thing you can do is make every single decision based on fear and lack and uncertainty, right? And this is why, as an example, like I'm a member of our local Y, and now they're offering like a really quick way to like pause your membership. And the reason I'm not doing that is because whatever operating system, like whatever is running you, and I'm talking to you as a business leader of your industry, I'm talking to you as somebody who mentors other people, I'm talking to you as somebody who runs a community and all of that. Like if what's running you, okay, what is emanating from you, it will be reflected back to you from your people, right? And so if right now, like if you're a business leader, if you are an entrepreneurial mentor and you are all of a sudden like canceling memberships and making decisions like, I gotta wait, I gotta see what's gonna happen, whatever. Don't be surprised when that's reflected back to you by the people that you mentor, by your clients. Wait, I gotta push pause, I gotta see where this ends up. When you are allowing that to emanate from you, it's gonna be reflected back to you, right? If you are like a nutrition coach or nutrition advisor and all of a sudden you stop buying your supplements because you're afraid of like the economy or whatever, don't be surprised when other people are doing the same. If you're a health coach and you are all of a sudden like you're starting to make your decisions based on money or whatever, like that's going to be reflected back to you in your market. And so the mindset to remember is one of responsibility, right? Responsibility to your mission and goals, responsibility to your people and market, responsibility to your family and your economy. And so there's always something that you can do today in order to reach your goals. So we're going to get started on the 6 things that every business owner needs to focus on, but particularly in times of like an economic downturn or an industry shift or whatever. These are the things that I taught and packaged and sold well and effectively in 2008. I've kind of brushed them off for right now, but they worked then and they're going to work right now. And so I encourage you to adopt that mindset of responsibility, to remember that what you are, the operating system with which you are operating from is going to be reflected back to you in your market, right? So consider whether you're operating from fear and scaredness and scarcity or from opportunity and abundance, right? It will come back to you. Your market is often a mirror for who you are. So let's talk about the 6 things to focus on. The first thing to focus on is becoming critical, right? So this is separate from what I'm going to cover next, which is displaying critical. That's like, this is about readily answering the question, are you delivering something of essential value? Right? So if you're watching live or you're watching the replay, like type in like, am I delivering something of essential value? And it doesn't have to be essential to everyone. Like I saw some woman yesterday, and she's younger than me by, I think, a lot, like 15 years maybe. And so we were talking about like the shutdown and, how salons are out or whatever. And she's like, well, I learned how to cut my own hair. And I'm like, cutting my hair is like so not the issue, right? Like that is so not mission critical. The grays are totally mission critical. Before I went to a funeral yesterday, I asked my daughter, who's 19, I said, hey, is this too, are my grays, is it too much? And she's like, oh no, it's fine. And as I'm walking out of her room, she's like, Mom, you're getting old. So, people know you have gray. And I'm like, oh my God. So I had to like spray it, right? To make myself presentable. But when I ask you if you're delivering something of essential value, it's not going to be, and it doesn't have to be essential to everyone. Like cutting my hair is not essential. Coloring it is absolutely mission critical for me, right? So let's talk about your stuff for a second. How can you become critical to a specific market? The first thing you want to do is you want to explore the edges of what's already critical about what you sell. right? You want to explore what's already critical about what you sell, right? Sometimes, and this is actually sales 101, we always should encourage like people to address a why now, why this is critical now situation. All like the best infomercials do it, right? Like all the winning political campaigns do it. But you want to make sure that you are exploring the edges of what you're already offering and why it's critical right now. We want to really explore that, right? Like not from a standpoint of like making, a stretch argument, but just sit with it. What's already critical about what you offer? And then the next part is equally important. It's like explore who it's critical for right now. It's possible that this whole little situation we're dealing with all over the world is ushering in a new market for you, a whole new market for you. I've seen that for me, right? I've seen that happen for me. A lot of people, Women Who Wow has never catered to the part-time business owner, right? It's just never, it's like we're full-time, we're in it to win it, right? And but a lot of people now have the time to dedicate full-time attention to their business. And so all of a sudden this is ushering in a new market for me of people who are like, they have the mindset of full-timers and seriously driven women entrepreneurs, but they never really had the time and the pay to go for it. So it's ushering in a new market. So when we talk about becoming critical, one is exploring the edges of what's already critical about your about what you sell. And two, it's like, who's this critical for right now? Exploring your current market. Is it really is it getting more critical for them to buy from you now? Is it more critical for another market? So exploring what is critical and then who it's critical for. You also want to consider what can you add or take away from what you normally offer to make it even more critical to a specific market. Like what can you add to it or take away? And how can you become more essential to the people who depend on you? Right? How can you become more essential? So I can tell you with Women Who Wow membership, like having those one-on-one time with me, like I'm adding hours as we speak, like it's becoming more mission critical for people because they don't want to wait, because they have, issues and opportunities and obstacles that require like one-on-one nuanced support. And so it's becoming more mission critical. A lot of people who had left Women Who Wow are coming back because they're like, I really didn't take advantage of the one-on-one time with you before, but I need it now. Is that still available? And so who needs you more now? And how can you make yourself more essential and more critical? These are things that we should be daydreaming about, right? That we should be taking notes on. Now, I want to move on to how to make the fact that you are mission critical, how to make it obvious to the world or to the right part of the world, right? And that's where I call displaying critical. This is about packaging your service or your products as critical and presenting them as such. I am going to talk about the words to say. I'm going to talk about all of that. But this is as much about your energy and your approach as it is about the words that you say, right? I'm going to tackle the words first. This is not the time. A lot of people are sending out emails that are like, almost turn their business into a charity, right? Like, please support us, like, that kind of thing, right? So this is not about turning your business into a charity. This is about reminding people of your value and the critical reasons that they need in or on or whatever right now, right? So this is when you're displaying how critical you are. It's not about like how you need them to pay you to keep the lights on. It's not about turning your business into a charity or like, hey, I need to sell X amount of dollars to pay the bills. It's not that. Do not ever turn your business into a charity. Always focus on what you offer them in exchange for payment. That's the way the world works. So this is really about calling out why now, making it visible, making it really quickly understood. And we need to do this all the time in sales, but now it is even more critical to call out how critical your work and message and services are. So a few things. The first thing to consider is what excuses has this virus eliminated? Right? What excuses has this virus eliminated? So quick examples just from within the world of Women Who Wow. So if you're a keto coach, one of the primary challenges of why people aren't investing in keto coaching is because the truth is they don't have time to be in the kitchen. They are social butterflies. They have a lot of work events or social events or whatever. Well, now they don't. they're in the kitchen more. It's a perfect time for people to double down and do their keto coaching, right? Your therapy clients who might have been hesitant about teletherapy, well, now's the perfect time for them to try out because they can't come and see you if they wanted to. If you're a book publisher, now's the time that people have to finish that book. Do you know how many people have like unfinished books that were started, and now's the perfect time for them. So I want you to consider, what excuses has this virus eliminated? Right? So like if you work on marriage or relationships, well, busyness can sometimes mask a marriage that is descending a little bit, right? And now we're not busy anymore. And so whatever excuses that we used to have, I guarantee you can find one or two that this current situation has eliminated in the minds and hearts of your market. You want to call that out. Another thing to consider is, why do they need what you have now more than ever? So you think about like Disney Plus or Hulu or fiber internet or Peloton or even pets. Selling pets is becoming something that's mission critical for people who are living alone or whatever. And people are selling them as, not just like mental health dogs, like being trained as mental health dogs, but like just to boost our mental health because it's fun to have a pet around, particularly when you're isolated. So you got to think like, what is it about this current situation that makes what you sell even more important to them? You also want to consider what bonus you might be able to offer that adds tremendous value in light of current circumstances. So an example of that would be, you guys know I love Dan Kennedy, and his company is now offering like a TV subscription model and of like Dan Kennedy's like best of kind of replay kind of things. And but they're also quick to point out that they also have like a collection of videos for how to navigate a downturn in the economy, and then one other one that is like just mission critical for right now. So what bonus can you offer that adds tremendous value to your core offer in light of today's circumstances? And you want to really rewrite your script away from this is nice to have or this is a luxury product to a must-have product, service, action to take, etc., etc. Now, once you get the words right, where you're actually calling out why now, you also have to have your energy approach right. You've got to believe that you help people and that you don't want them to go without what you're offering right now. Like, I'm on a mission with Women Who Wow. Like, I am inviting people, and it's like, come back to us or join us for the first time, because now is the time. And you don't want to navigate this alone, right? And so if you are willing to let people go without your stuff because you know they have other stuff going on that's more important, or, they're going to forever believe that what you offer is optional under the best of circumstances when the money is flowing and the stars are aligned. Listen, if you're not holding on and representing the value that you bring to your market, they are going to believe that you are nice to have if everything else is perfect, right? And that is just not true for any of us. It's not true for any of us. And so I really want you to consider your energy and your approach. If you are not selling right now out of some like moral high ground, you're doing your brand and your market a disservice. You are putting your work in the realm of like, nice to have if everything's good. You don't want to do that. Your energy and approach must match up with your belief and your presentation of the belief that you are mission critical and you can truly help people, and that is what your mission is. Next, you want to focus on delivery alternatives. Now, this is the simplest thing to do, right? This is taking offline to online, from group to individual, from in location to in home. It's basically how you get whatever you deliver to your people. And this is really like, in today's day and age, this is the simplest thing to shift in this particular situation, like just the delivery options. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because I want to move on to a couple things that will really impact you taking new ground, serving a new market, and also just emerging from the situation in a far better position than you went in. And it's a great time to take new ground because of the parens analogy that I did at the beginning of the call. So if you missed that, you want to watch the replay. I think that it really puts this situation into perspective for us as entrepreneurs. If you have any questions, by the way, and you're watching live or you're watching the replay, definitely put those comments in. I'll be sure to get back to each and every one of you. But let's talk about the new free zone. Essentially, like, what do you give away for free? This will and can and should shift during upheavals in the market like we're experiencing right now, right? And this is simply shifting the parameters of what you give away for free. It's very, very simple to do. This is what opens up new markets for you. This is what opens up new entry points for you to serve more people. It opens up new streams of leads and allows you to serve them not longer. A lot of people think that in upheaval times that we should extend our nurture sequence, that we should extend the time or the number of touches between when we meet someone and when we offer to sell them. But actually, times of upheaval actually contract that time, right? So it's not about serving them longer before inviting them to buy from you. It's really about serving them harder and deeper, right? It's really about compressing that and going harder and deeper with them, because they don't have the time to like get to know you through a 17-point email sequence, right? They need help right now. And so you want to ask yourself, when you think about expanding your free zone, what you give away for free, you want to consider, who else needs your stuff, right? I talked a little bit about my business and how this is really shifting things, and people who are not really full-timers in business yet are reaching out to say, do I qualify for Women Who Wow? I want to be part of that. I've been working full-time, but now I've got this time off. A lot of teachers as an aside. So who else needs your stuff? What else do they need from you, right? These are questions to answer about expanding your free zone or moving it to include new markets and or new ways to serve your current markets. Quick hint, while you're serving them, while you are in the free zone, you always want to let them know what is available on the inside of whatever it is that you offer, right? You want to make sure that you're letting them know what is available for them should they decide at any time to come into your paid world, right? Whether it's paid teletherapy or paid business coaching or paid, nutritional support or whatever it is, right? And I want to share with you really quickly, because some people might be watching this and they're new to WOW, and I just want to let you know like what is available within the walls of Women Who WOW. And I just want to read off a few things. Like one, we have first of all, an entire library of content and training bundles that are ready right now, but also a calendar year of Women Who WOW has 36 live trainings based on right now relevant strategies. It's not like planned a year in advance. We've been doing a lot of digging deep on how to manage and navigate this exact situation. Daily content prompts for you, so you always have something to go to your market with. Daily journal prompts to help keep you in the right mindset. 260 servings of Entrepreneurial Espresso, 12 member marketing makeovers, 12 hot seat Q&As, 24 private strategy sessions with me, 12 days of e-coaching each year, 52 weekly hustle challenges, and actually more. But you always want to make sure that when you are out there marketing, that you are letting people know what they can get if they join you, right? If they want a professional relationship with you versus just kind of passing by, taking what you have for free and moving on. You want to make sure that you're making that known to them. I want to move on to another thing you should focus on. All of us should focus on it kind of all the time, but even more right now. And that is playing at a new level. A lot of the people that you had been competing with are giving up. Right? The herd is definitely being thinned, as all upheavals do. And you need to make sure that you are not one of those that's kind of like playing it safe and waiting it out and seeing how the chips fall, and then you'll decide what to do. You've got an opportunity now to play at an entirely new level, to be the leader that your people need. This is all about upping your game, your energy, your pace maybe, and showing up as the leader that you are. So I want to ask you some questions. Where can you stretch your potential? Where can you stretch your potential? Where can you up your game? Focus on, by the way, what matters. When we talk about upping our game, not like the superficial stuff, like a new logo or something like that. Like if you want to do that, fine. But I'm talking about really upping how you show up in the marketplace. And I don't want you to focus on the superficial stuff, like getting a new light or something like that, right? Like I want you to focus on the stuff that really matters, right? So I remember when Pepsi, I don't know if you guys remember, this is probably like 2009 or 2010, and Pepsi did this huge campaign to unveil their new logo. And it was a huge failing campaign, by the way. They went way into the negative in terms of losing market share. It was a disaster for Pepsi. And the reason is that when we were navigating this, like, you know, horrible economy in that time frame, Pepsi acted like their big news of their new logo was going to somehow affect us or make our life better or something. It was like a horrible, horrible move for on their part. And when I tell you to look for ways to up your game, I'm not talking about the superficial. I'm talking about the deeper stuff. I'm talking about where can you go deeper with your people? How can you best serve them? Where can you do more for the people who are under your umbrella already? And what have you been putting off in terms of going big? Because we all have that list. We all have that list, the unwritten books, the unsung songs. Like, we have all these ideas that have not been, we haven't pressed play on. And when I'm talking to you about upping your game, playing at a new level, I'm talking about the deeper stuff and focusing on the things, the places that you can up your game that deeply impact the people that you serve. This is not superficial stuff. This is not me like getting a new light, you know what I'm saying? So where you're like, oh, doesn't she look fancy? It's about me showing up and being able to provide more value to you. So go deeper there. I finally want to focus on the new essential role of content marketing. Anyone who's known me for any amount of time knows that I have been stamping my feet and demanding the content game for a really, really long time. And content marketing is king, queen, and prince. That's true. I think it's always been true. With the introduction of Amazon and our borders, you know, as a entrepreneurial society, our borders kind of went away and we became very much a worldwide kind of marketplace. It became even more true because content allowed us to demonstrate like why people should come to me, like why join Women Who Wow versus like any of the other infinitely available groups of women entrepreneurs, right? And it's like, content allows you to tell your differentiation story. But now there's an even more critical role for content marketing, and that is to allow you to take a stand for your market and your people. It's content marketing now. There's always been, what I've taught always is that there has to be an intersection of like empowering and encouraging people and then equipping and educating them. But now more than ever, content marketing should be focused on cheering your people on, giving them assurance, reminding them of what they're up to and who they are, right? And a lot of times in upheaval, in turmoil, in chaos, everything seems topsy-turvy. And so when you're out there marketing, you need to be making sure that one, you're standing tall, right? That you are doing what you need to do for your business. You've got the support that you need. You are in the right relationships. You are in the right mindset. Like you need to get your own game settled first, right? But as you do that, and this is something, by the way, it's not like one day you'll get all of that settled. I'm talking about settling it every day, right? Like mindset work every single day. And then you go into your market and you cheer them on. You take a stand. It's just like Mel Gibson in the movie The Patriot. And the Patriots were about to lose. They're about to fold. They're retreating at the very battle that they're going to win the war, right? And so who wins this battle wins the war. And they're feeling so discouraged that they are retreating. And Mel Gibson, whether you like him or love him, I love this part. He picks up this raggedy old flag and he's running, not on horseback. He's running and he's like, no retreat, move forward, right? And of course they won the battle and the rest is history. But listen, your market needs that today. Your market needs you with a battered flag, but with the heart of a soldier to run forward and be like, listen, you've got this. You can do this. Let's make it happen, right? And so that is the new essential role of content marketing that often has been displaced in favor of things like, how-tos and tutorials and all of that. So I really encourage you guys to focus on those 6 things. If you do, this parens of 2020, regardless of what you do, actually, in this parens of 2020, your actions or inactions, your boldness or cowardice, it's going to be clarified and multiplied in the marketplace. That's what a parentheses does, right? And we are in a parentheses of 2020. What you do in this little section of time matters. It matters to you, your family, your market. It matters to the economy. And I just want to invite you to reach out to me if I can help you in any way. If you are not a member of Women Who Wow, if you used to be, but you're not anymore, I need you to reach out to me. I need you to rejoin, message me, let me know what's going on in your life. I want to come alongside you. And so if you're new to me, message me and let me know about your business and what you are doing right now, what challenges or opportunities you're staring down. I can be reached always at m.me/Women Who Wow. And I just appreciate you guys spending time with me today. And I love being at the helm of these women entrepreneurs. I love to come alongside you guys and see how you are just taking this time in stride and really using it to grow your business. So appreciate you. I believe in you. I 100% believe in you. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Talk to you later, guys.